Hey friends, it's your host, the one and only Lano. We're back here on Lano's Motivations. I got a gem for you guys today. It's a banger. What we're gonna talk about today is the idea that everything in life is driven by this mindset of perceptions. And I'd encourage you guys to kick back and relax. I don't want to very much be focused for this because the ideas that I'm going to talk to you guys about today are ideas that genuinely have made a difference in my life. Has turned my anxiety and depression into nothing but motivation. And I know that sounds crazy, but I promise you guys, you stick with me. Not even through just this video, but the idea of what this page is going to be, and you'll be able to turn your anxieties and depressions into nothing but motivation. So stick with me. Let's get it done. Life truly, and this isn't just to me, it's kind of to everybody, this idea, life is genuinely about how you view the world. We have these things, perception goggles. Let me write that down. Hold on, that's huge. Yeah, that idea is huge. Eyeballs are otherwise. Life is all about how you perceive the world. Like I said, about your perception goggles. It's all about how you decide to see the world in front of you. And when you realize that life and everything around you is all about perception, and you're the only one that can control perception, you start to get like a superpower. It becomes like a superpower. And the only way to acquire this superpower is by taking accountability for yourself, truly. And I know that's probably like what everyone you hear everywhere and everything, or maybe you've never heard this, but truly taking accountability for yourself is the whole game. Let's start with the idea of taking accountability for yourself and what that even looks like. It starts with being responsible for every aspect of your life. It starts with you taking the accountability and learning the idea that everything that's wrong in your life is something that you can control. It's something that, and for lack of better words, it's your fault. And I know that sounds deep and it sounds crazy. Like, no, I'm not the reason that I was born into a broke family. It's not my fault that my mom beats me. And these are extremes, but it's the idea that no, it's not your fault that you were born into a broke family, but it's your fault if you decide to stay living in a broke family and you don't do anything about it. You understand what I'm saying? It's that idea of, because you could easily look at it as, my mom and dad never did anything for me, so I'm broke and I don't know what I'm doing. You can blame and point the finger at other people, or you can take accountability for it and take responsibility for it and make the difference in your life that you want. You can take accountability for the good things in your life, the bad things in your life, and truly everything in between. When you realize that you are in complete control of your mind, your body, and the world around you, you realize, like I did, that nothing is impossible. Just like the idea of beating depression. For a lot of people, that seems to be like this very hard concept to get through. And even for me, it was something that I felt like I was clinically depressed for a while. Clinical anxiety and all these things. Let me even see if clinical anxiety, that's how you say that. Normal psychotic response. Okay, yeah, clinical anxiety. So I used to deal with these things heavily because I had no accountability for myself. And so I felt like the world around me wasn't controlling. Whatever life threw at me, that's just what it was. But you realize when you take accountability for yourself and what life is, that's not true. That's all a perception that you built in your head. When you think like that, when you think like what my old thinking was, that life is just gonna throw negativity at you all the time, you slowly, subconsciously deteriorate all your hopes and dreams because you're constantly in this fight and this idea that God is not on your side, or if you're not even religious, that the universe itself is just against you. It's just not true. So the way to get over this mindset, building into the idea of taking accountability for yourself, the way that you start this is by deciding what to give a fuck about. I know that that's aggressive language, but it's specific. You have to decide what to, I guess I'll say, care about more than anything. Let's use the concept of time as an example. Time is nothing but a human-made construct. Time isn't real. When I say human-made construct, we made it up. Time is really just a way for us to measure our days on Earth. I know that's super simple, but if you think about it, it's just a way for us to measure how long our turn in the sun is. It's very simple, and once you simplify things down to that, you realize that you care way too much about things that don't matter. Or even the idea that there's no such thing as 12 o'clock. There's no such thing as time. I say all that to let you guys know that you don't have to think too deeply about feeling rushed into time or feeling like you need to get things done all the time. You're fine. If anything, the only thing that you're racing against is yourself. Start to delve into those ideas more and just realize that you could simplify what life looks like in your head a lot, and that'll help you on those early steps to anxiety and depression, like ending them, and also taking accountability for yourself. So the insignificance of it all is that we've also been burdened with the blessing of consciousness. So we constantly lead ourselves into building constructs for us to live by so that we can build and grow. They tend to burden us in a way that constantly make us feel rushed or inferior to somebody else or some entity that's not real. I've done it to myself where I constantly feel like I'm not doing enough, where I'm not working hard enough, where I'm not attacking the things that I can attack, when truly I'm doing a lot more than my old self used to do. And that in itself is a big thing. You shouldn't compare yourself to anybody. You shouldn't focus on what somebody else is doing. It's always focusing, because that's another construct that you give yourself, like seeing that somebody else is doing so much better than you, and realistically they have just as much problems as you do. So to the point, it's the idea of not caring as much. You decide how much you give a fuck about them. It allows you to decide what you care about. And if you decide to care about how you feel rushed to do things, or how you feel like you never have time, that's what your reality is going to be. You're going to have negative ideas. Whereas if you learn to build a mindset of forget what time it is, or forget what the day looks like, it's what can I get done today? And more focus on the action, you'll make it so much farther. It takes hard work and dedication, true persistence to get to the mindset and the idea. Because like I said, it's very simple. The idea of breaking down the concepts that we build in our life, like somebody's doing better than us, or the social media concepts that we're constantly flooding ourselves with, they're not easy things to break out of, especially because you've been stuck in a habit or a routine. Okay, I ended up getting cut off, ended up running out of storage on the camera, but I know exactly where I was. We get on social media and we get super tied into what everyone else is doing, and how it looks like everyone else is winning all the time. No one else is winning any more or less than you are. Winning isn't a thing. If you woke up today and you have basic living standards of running water, you can eat food, you have people in your life that love you, or even if you don't, you love yourself, you're winning. That's more than enough. What that is the attitude of gratitude. You need to be grateful for the small things that you have in your life, rather than focused on all these external things that we don't have. Again, just the idea that nothing actually matters until you give it power to matter. You give it the power. Famous quote, as Uncle Ben said, with great power comes great responsibility. It's so simple, yet it's one of those ideas, like anyone can think of that, you know what I mean? With great, it's got a lot of power, you should do good with it. Like some philosopher said that shit or something, but you have the power to decide what you care about. And so with that, genuinely think about this. Don't waste your time on trivial matters, especially if your goal is to be successful on a large scale. If you have genuinely big goals, and I'd say everyone does, you don't want to care about small stuff. You have the power to engage your mind on things that you care about, so do it. Make it positive. Don't make it time. Don't make it that you don't have friends or family, or your mom yells at you all the time, or that your dad don't talk to. Whatever the case may be, whatever it is that you have negative in your life, don't focus on those things. Focus on the positives that you have. It's up to you, and no one else cares. Because no one else cares, you have to care. You have to do the whole job yourself, and you need to focus and make sure that you're waking up every day with the idea that you're making a difference in this world. For yourself, specifically, but also for your community. You can do it. I promise you can do it. Now to the next step. It's the idea of once you make the decision, once you've made up your mind to decide what you care about, the next step is to formulate a very well structured plan on how to go about attacking these tasks, on how to go about attacking your dreams, and specifically on how to change your mindset out of caring about small things that don't matter. The number one thing that this requires is that a lot of us lack. Even me, I used to lack this a lot, and I still work on it as much as I can because I'm not perfect in it, but I've definitely grown from where I've started in terms of discipline. Discipline, 90% of the whole job. Let me explain why. It's the idea that you have to break out of the concept of motivation. There's no such thing as motivation. Truly, that's not real. I believe that to be true because it's the idea of lust. You think that you really love somebody when a lot of times it's just lust. You're very attracted to them. You might like talking to them. Sometimes when it comes down to the nitty gritty, you don't want to deal with that person anymore. And you thought you loved them, but realistically, you just have really high infatuation for them. I believe motivation to be that same thing. Motivation and discipline are like love and lust. I believe that if you're motivated, it's very brief. You can't hold on to that for a long time. But it feels really, really good in the moment, just like lust. But it goes away. You don't consistently keep that. And so it's the idea of discipline is like the idea of love. It doesn't always feel good. It's not something that you always want to deal with, but you do because you know it's right. They go hand in hand. If you're very disciplined, then you technically don't need motivation. And what motivation becomes is the icing on your cake. You know, the discipline is your cake and the icing is the motivation. If you can consistently stay disciplined, you can have your cake. If you can use that motivation on top of your discipline, you can eat it too. You can get the frosting on top of your cake, and it'll bring everything together. Because what a lot of us tend to do is we base our how much we're gonna get done on how motivated we are. And I promise you, no one is motivated every day. Most days I'm not motivated. I don't want to wake up early. I don't want to go make breakfast. I don't want to go to the gym. And 9 times out of 10, I don't want to go to work. Not that I don't love where I work and love what I do, but it's that I want to do what I want to do. I want to get up and I want to go to Six Flags or play the video game or just hang out. You know what I mean? And no, that's not discipline. Those are things that you can just do when you're a kid. You can just have fun. You know what I mean? But now as an adult, you need to acquire the discipline to do those things, like go to work, take care of yourself, go to the gym, cook for yourself. And if you can consistently do that on a day-to-day basis without the surges or looking for the surge of motivation, that's what you call discipline. And one day, if you compound that 1% by 1%, you will be so much farther in the future. And being disciplined is exactly what being a responsible adult is all about. And not only being an adult, but truly being high value even. It seems simple, but if you can do those things with discipline and consistency, you become high value. You can become high value strictly off of doing the small things and staying disciplined. Like going to the gym, eating, cooking for yourself, and taking care of your body, proper hygiene. Those small things can build you into a high value person simply off of the fact that so many other people aren't doing it. And that's a construct that I've just realized, that sometimes you think that your work may feel like it's for nothing. All this discipline that you're doing, all this hard work that you're putting in me sometimes feel like it's for nothing. But then you realize that 90% of the people, 99% of the people out there can't stay disciplined. It's hard to stay disciplined. So when you can learn to do that, you make yourself high value. And it's not that easy. With all of this, you'll make yourself the best version of you. So just go. Make sure you understand the idea to just go do it. Just go do it. You got this, I promise. With hard work and discipline, I promise you're gonna make it. Always remember that anything is possible as long as you stick to it. There's a lot more I could say, but we'll save it for another video. This one's getting a little lengthy. I want to say to you guys, understand that I love and appreciate all of you. Anyone listening, I love and appreciate you all. Any perceived shortcomings in your life are just figments of your imagination. I promise, it's not real. You didn't actually fail at anything. You know what I mean? Failure is not real. You didn't do it right this time, do it again. Get it right the next time. You didn't get it right that time, get it up. It's the idea of fall down 7 times, get up 8. Just keep trying until you finally get it right. The only time that you actually fail is when you accept that you failed and you stop trying. You only fail when you stop trying. Bars, I swear. So don't stop, never stop. Just keep going at it. Hard work and discipline. If you never give up, then you never failed. If you never give up, then you never fail. That's so good. So get in the mirror and tell yourself you're capable of anything that you set your mind to. Tell yourself that continuously. At first, it'll feel stupid because it's something that you don't even believe yourself. But eventually, the more that you say it to yourself, the more that you put the energy out there, the more it'll become your own reality. I promise. I care about you, and I want the best for you. That's the reason I'm making this video. I want you all, you specifically, I want you, the one watching this, I want you to be the best that you can be. And the same way that I might be helping you right now, I want to be able to come to you for, maybe my daughter needs her makeup done. I don't have a kid, but just the idea of when I do. Maybe one day my daughter's gonna need her makeup done and I can send it to you wonderful ladies that got so disciplined and good at makeup that you're amazing, and I'd love to spend my money with you. My young men out there, become the best that you can be and just stay disciplined, so that one day maybe if I need to come, somebody need to teach me how to get back in the gym, or you never know, just anything. Stay disciplined, because if you work hard, one day you're gonna be able to help your family out. Most importantly, the ones that you need to help, it's really your family, but your community. I know the point of this isn't to be high value, but it's more about accountability and chasing your dreams. But I want to make sure that we understand that a part of chasing your dreams and becoming the best version of you and taking accountability for yourself comes with being high value. Remember, the power to shape your life is in your hands. It's all up here. That's it for now, man. I just want to thank you guys for watching, and until next time, it's been a pleasure, and I want you guys, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you found this video, just please like, comment, and subscribe. Remember to be the best possible you every single day. Love you guys. Deuces.